Swiss meringue. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make simple Swiss meringue buttercream.
The final hour before we let it go down red. It's such a heartbeat pounding in your chest in this story.
Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shope, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make simple Swiss meringue buttercream. You need just 5 ingredients to make this. You need granulated sugar, you need unsalted butter, you need egg whites, vanilla flavor or any flavor of your choice, and a pinch of salt. Now for your unsalted butter, you need a butter that has minimum of 80% fat in it, because you want your Swiss meringue to come out stable, because this buttercream is a very tricky type of buttercream. You can make a mistake while making it, so it's very important that you follow the instructions to the letter in order not to make a mistake, and so that you don't end up wasting ingredients. The reason for me saying you should use 80% fat butter, unsalted butter, is because some butters have less fat in it, and with that less fat you are likely not to get the kind of results and stability that you are looking for. Examples of butter that have 80% fat in it are President, L&V. I use different types of butter, but I always make sure that it has 80% fat in it. So you could try President, you could try L&V, and there are also different types that are very good quality. I really don't know their names, but just make sure that you're using a butter that has 80% fat in it. So are you going to come with me and let's try this Swiss meringue buttercream in a very easy way? Number 1, wipe your bowl with vinegar and tissue. Now this is to get rid of any form of grease, oil that could have been in your bowl or your bowl prior to when you want to make your Swiss meringue buttercream. This is a very important procedure, and please do not miss it for anything. Always wipe your mixing bowl or whichever bowl you are going to be using for your Swiss meringue with vinegar and tissue. Number 2, make sure that you are using fresh eggs in order to get your egg whites easily. So you do not want any form of yolk in your egg whites, because that's just going to mess up the entire thing. So make sure that you have your eggs fresh, so that your egg whites removal procedure will be very easy and less stressful. So make sure that you put your mixing bowl and your pot or your whatever it is you're using as your double boiler on fire at the same time. Please make sure that you do not start boiling the water before putting your mixing bowl in it. If you do that, you are going to cook your eggs, and that will be a total waste. So make sure you put it at the same time. The water is going to be cold, your egg white and sugar is going to be cold, but don't worry, just leave it, keep mixing. The water is gradually going to heat up, and you'll be able to use that. So this is me whisking it. How do I know when it's ready? Is when I dip my hand in it, or you check it and then you can't feel any granules of sugar anymore. So normally some people use like thermometer to check, but I do not use thermometer. I usually use my hand to touch it and make sure that I cannot feel the granules of sugar anymore till it's very, very smooth. Another way you could check is when you dip your hand in it and then it becomes uncomfortable for your hand. That way you are ready and you can toss this in your mixer and go on to the next procedure. So I kept on mixing it over and over again to make sure that I'm not feeling any granules of sugar and it has a smooth texture. So you can see here, you can't feel any granules of sugar anymore. So this is ready. I'm just going to like put this in my mixer and mix till I get a very stiff peak. So my mixer was ready, so I just put this in and I was mixing till I got stiff peak. So mix. You can leave it there and go and do what you have to do. You could time yourself. I could say this mixed for roughly about 10 minutes. So it depends on how fast your mixer is, but this mixer, mixed it for 10 minutes. You could have a faster mixer, I really don't know, but 10 minutes or more. Just make sure that you achieve very stiff peak. Stiff peak is when you are like when you are done mixing, when you flip your bowl over and then your mixture doesn't fall off or doesn't shake. That way you have a very stiff peak. So when you are separating your eggs, make sure that you do not have any yolk of egg inside your egg whites. Why? So that you won't end up not having a stiff peak. Because if you have egg yolk in your egg white mixture, trust me, you won't achieve stiff peak. So this was ready. See how stiff it looks. Even from the whisk you could see how stiff that was. Like, see, it didn't even fall off at all. So it's ready, and that's a very stiff peak right there. So I flipped my bowl over and it didn't fall off. So that is a stiff peak. At this stage you're supposed to add in your butter, but no, I'm going to wait for this to cool off because we brought it out of heat. So I'm putting this in the fridge for it to just cool off a little bit. So I brought it out of the fridge after it must have cooled off a little bit. I left it there for like about 20 minutes for it to cool off very well. Because you're dealing with butter here, you don't want a situation where you're adding your butter and it ends up scattering and all of that. So I'm going to like mix this very well again. Even after bringing it out of your fridge, you have to mix it very well before adding in your butter. So you make sure that you use softened butter. That's me dipping my hand in my butter to show you that my butter was softened. So I cut my butter in tiny little chunks so that it mixes very well with the egg white mixture. Number 3, like I mentioned, make sure that you are using an unsalted butter that has minimum of 80% fat in it in order to avoid stories that touch. So I'm just adding my butter little by little into the egg white mixture gradually. So after adding in my butter, I put my mixer on low speed. Now you have to be very patient. So it's at the transition phase. Make sure that you are patient because Swiss meringue is very time consuming and it could be very exhausting. So make sure that you are very patient so that you follow every procedure and each step you do not miss anything. You do not want stories that touch again. So it's at the transition phase. It's going to get to a part where the butter and the egg white mixture is going to break apart. It's going to look like a very rough texture, like it's going to have a very rough texture. It's not going to look good at all, and then you are going to be like, what is this? And then you might want to like get rid of the whole thing. Please do not get rid of the whole thing. It's going to break apart, after which is now going to come together again. So just keep mixing. Number 5, please, I will advise you, so that you don't get exhausted, use a stand mixer. Hand mixer will do the work for you, but you are going to end up getting really tired afterwards, because you have to mix and mix and mix and mix. So make sure that you have a stand mixer. If you do not have a stand mixer, it's not a disadvantage. You could use your hand mixer to do it. It's just going to take more time and more energy. So you can see there now that it has finally come together. So after it breaks apart, it's going to come together. So once you see that it comes together, you can see that the texture has changed. So once you see that it comes together, increase the speed of your mixer and mix it very well. Like, I mean, mix very well. You could stop your mixer for a little bit and use your spatula to like bring everything together. You can continue mixing it, like keep mixing it till, you know, it loosens up a little bit. So this is bringing air bubbles into our mixture, like it's incorporating air into the mixture. So we're still going to get rid of the air that's like gotten into this mixture, but just mix it very well. So make sure that everything incorporates well. Number 6, follow the instructions very well, so that you do not end up making mistakes. Thank you.
Nothing is damaging.
So at this point it had mixed very well, so I'm going to switch to a beater to help me get rid of the air that has gotten into this mixture. So this is, sorry about that. So this is going to help me get rid of the air that has gotten into this mixture. So at this point I'm going to add in my vanilla flavor and a tiny little bit of salt to help me pronounce the flavor of this Swiss meringue. Now you do not want to add just too much flavor, just little, because the Swiss meringue already has its own buttery flavor already. Please, when your mixture is at the transitioning phase, please do not add in vanilla flavor or salt there. Wait for it to have come together before adding your vanilla flavor and salt. So mix this very well with your beater, after which you can reduce the speed and you are good to go. So whisk forever. That's the word. Keep mixing, keep mixing, mix and mix and mix, don't get tired. So yeah, I'm going to try to scrape the sides so that everything comes together. Keep mixing again. Now don't get tired, because you need to get a very smooth texture. So keep mixing very well and do not get tired of mixing. Really, just mix. Reduce the speed after like about 7-10 minutes. Then you can get rid of the bubbles and look at that mixture. That's a very nice Swiss meringue buttercream there. Smooth, looks nice, texture check, taste check, and that's it. The recipe for this video is going to be in the caption down below. Please check through it so that you could get the detailed recipe for this simple Swiss meringue. Please kindly like and share this video, kindly subscribe to my channel, and I'm going to bring you more content as time goes by. Love you.